Clippity clap. Welcome back to the $1 Million Days. Listen,
Get the rap intro.
we are we're doing some serious AI stuff, George.
I don't believe you. Not for a
And,
second.
In light of that, I was like, I've been busy, right? Like, I don't know if I've been this busy before, to the point where every day I'm leaving and there's a level of uncomfortability with the amount of things I'm leaving undone.
Yes. I know the feeling. I feel like that now.
yeah,
I
and it's
feel like
like-
that walking into this podcast
I
studio today.
almost messaged you during the day and said, hey, George,
Let's call it off. Let's do it
let's
tomorrow.
can we just push it back or something?
Do you know, if you had sent me that, you would have
like
got the quickest response you've ever received.
No, and like, I'll give you an example, right? Like, at the point now where it's like, if I'm going to go into a meeting and if there's any reason in the world I can push this back, I'll push it back.
Or not be
Any
there.
reason, huh?
Or delegate it to someone else to do or something like
it's
that.
like,
yeah.
okay, cool. If I can get out of this meeting right now, I will, because there's about 1 million things that need my attention. And yeah, it's a lot.
Hmm.
How do you handle when you've got like 30 fires?
Yeah. Good topic.
Hey,
Good topic.
this is not even a topic.
Isn't it?
This is just us talking.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like that right this second.
Yeah, so
right
there's
this
like
second.
there's 30 fires, but then it's like, and you're sitting there like, and you're putting out these fires. You're like, oh, I've got this under control, man. You're knocking one out at a time. And then someone comes to you and says, hey, man, like something.
Got this fire here too.
What? Not even something like my food's not warm.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
you're
okay.
like, and you look at them and you think, like, I understand that's important to you.
Yeah.
You can't see the fires. Do you know what I mean? Like, you can't see that I'm putting out all these fires here.
Yeah.
But it's like, but they have a very valid point, the person. So you kind of, they're not being unreasonable at all, but they're coming to you with something that's important to them.
Yeah, like microwaves. As you said, microwaves not stop working, or whatever it might be.
Yeah. And you just kind of look at them and you're like, hey, fuck the microwave. Just eat it cold. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, this is the problem. This is your biggest problem.
Go get takeout, bro. Like,
Yeah.
figure it
Send
out.
me, take it. I'll pay. Just stop talking to me.
Yes.
Do you know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
fucking, yes.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
you
kinda
cry to the
look at-
preacher.
And you kind of look at people and you think, like, yeah, the problems you're coming to me with now, man. And like, I understand, but also, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah. Is there a level of annoyance with that? Do you get annoyed?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. Me too. And you're right. We got to be the bigger person. You got to understand, yes, that's a problem for you right now. But a lot of the time, I do give pushback too. If someone comes to me and says, hey, where should I order timber from? I was like, come on, mate. Like, figure it out, dude. Figure it out. Like, what would I say? What do you think the answer would be?
Yeah,
It's like,
but
we've got
okay.
these core suppliers, but maybe you could take a little bit of initiative and say, well, okay, is Bowen's going to be more competitive or is Bunnings going to be more competitive? Hey, how much are sticks? Hey, how much are sticks? And then you get your price. You go, cool, I'll go with Bunnings or Bowen's or whoever you go with. I don't care. Right? Ultimately, just get the sticks there. Why do you need me to hold your hand for every little thing? So then there would be some pushback in the sense of if there's something that they can handle and do, I'd actually more times than not, and this is when I'm not busy, mind you, not just when I'm flat out. I'd be like, hey, this isn't, not to put myself on, like, to be from an arrogant point of view, this isn't a fucking director's question, mate. My dad used to be like that too when he worked for me back in the day. He used to call me up and be like, hey, can you call the electrician and tell him to do this and blah, blah, blah. And I'd be like, no. I go, I will not, I need you to, and I say to him, like I could speak to him that way. I say, I need you to understand something. I'm not calling anybody ever. You need to call them. That's what your role is. It's not mine. If I'm going to call him, then why are you working here? Okay. So I put it out very plainly, and it actually happened to me last week. One of my supervisors messaged in the group chat, and he goes, hey, have you spoken? He goes, because I put it in there, I go, hey, have you booked in the carpet layer? Because he's got to come in and do the job. And he's like, no. He goes, you said you spoke to him. I said, yeah, I speak to him about anything. I go, but I wouldn't book him in. I go, and to be perfect, and I said, like, for full transparency, I will never book in any trades. Do not rely on me to book in your trades on your job. That is your role. That's what I pay you to do. So if you said, oh, I thought you booked him in. No, never. I would never book, because even if I did book him in, what if I booked him in on Friday and the supervisor was like, oh, I'm painting that room on Friday. So I can't have too many people coordinating the one thing. That is your responsibility, your role. Always assume I have never booked any single trade in. And then that way they stop coming to me for questions like that.
Yeah, but so there's a difference between, because like I've been guilty of over pushing something like that, and where I've said like, hey man, like I've explained, the reason why you have a role here is so that these things don't have to come to me. Do you know what I mean? And the idea, I want you to take some initiative, and I want you to think like, what if I wasn't here now? Like if I was not in the office today, I was sick, I was away, I was on holidays, what would you do?
Yeah, overseas, different time zone.
How would you? Oh, I'm in a meeting. Like, what are you going to do?
Yeah,
how are you going to do?
How are you going to warm up your food?
Then also, then things can sometimes move forward, and then you can look and be like, wait, whoa, who did this?
Yeah, yeah.
And then they're like, oh, we're trying to move it forward without you. And it's like, okay, like, and then you can't.
There has to be a level, some boundaries there.
Yeah, you can't flip because then it's like, it's my fault.
Yeah, they can't warm their food, so they've gone and bought a brand new Miele oven.
Yeah,
installed it in the kitchen. Like, hey, look, we got a brand new oven. It cooks meals, it does cakes.
Yeah, and we hired a baker.
We hired a baker.
But like,
yes, you have to give them. There's just got to be parameters there, doesn't there?
What's the parameters though?
Whether it's a monetary
sense?
No. The thing about common sense is it's not common.
Yeah,
and I would say if it's a monetary consequence, say you have up to $1,000 to sort a problem out if I'm not here. Okay, if it starts to get over $1,000, or if it's over whatever your limit is, you might have $500, you might have $100. You can sort out a $100 problem. The more senior the person, maybe the bigger the spend they have. But I would put provisions in place. So say, for example, okay, I'm going to use this now because it's going to happen to me in the next, what month are we in? August?
Yep.
In the next 3 months, in the next 3 to 4 months, I'm going to really start to become a true CEO of my business. So that means I need to put my GM's going to step up and be a managing director. And then I'd be like, okay, mate, you now have the authority to spend this much money without talking to me. You can make those calls. You can spend 20, 30, 50K. Understand that you've got to do the right thing by the business. And if you make a 50K call, you've got to justify it. You're not just going to go out and spend 50K of the business's money. There's going to be reporting. There's going to be a whole trail of reasons and things there. And if it was the best decision to make, well, that's your decision to make now. You've got to do it. So you have to give, but then I wouldn't give that same 50K to a supervisor. I wouldn't give that same 50K to an administrator or to somean else or an apprentice. So I think there's got to be levels to what they can do, because most problems can be solved with money. And in which case they're not a problem, they're an expense. And then you can turn around and say, well, if it's just something like, oh, I've double booked a meeting, what should I do? Okay, well, that's not a money issue. That's just timing. That's management. Well, make a decision. What are you going to do? Maybe you can push one meeting back or cancel both meetings or do them on a different day, whatever it's going to be. Figure it out.
It's, it's obviously easier said than done.
But if you haven't had that conversation with your client, with your employees either, how are they to know?
They're not.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's where you've got to take that responsibility. You might be putting out 1,000 spot fires, but you haven't taken the time to train them effectively. Say, hey, this is how I'm going to be busy throughout the day. I don't want you to come to me with these things. And I reckon it's a really important, this is where really understanding everyone's role in the business and them understanding their role is really important. Because if a CA knows exactly what he's going to do, if a videographer knows exactly what his role is, then well, cool, you are completely responsible for that. Don't call me and say, what color grading should I be using on this video? A, I don't fucking know. I'm not a videographer. And B, that's what I employ you to do. Don't ask me stupid questions.
The other thing, something that's I've always been of the type to be like, hey, whatever you need. I was always like, and I've recently changed. And I was always like, hey, whatever you need, I'm here to support you. Yeah, my goal is to make sure you have everything you need. You can be a success in your role. Your goal is to do shit and be a success in your role. And yeah, more recently now, I've been like, hey, no, don't. Can we get on? Can I have some of your time? Nah.
Good.
No.
I think that's going to happen. Yeah. I think that's great.
No, you
to
cannot.
See. That's great
I
to
can't.
see you getting.
What do you need?
Go
see them.
Yeah.
Why are you coming to me? Don't go see them.
That's awesome, man, because just looking at that and you telling me that shows me that the business is growing because it's demanding different areas of you now. And you are just becoming more valuable. You are becoming more protective of your time because your time isn't spent on those. Yeah, that's how I feel right now. It's like I've had to go and attend a couple of really important meetings today, and I had to go to site twice this morning. So I went to one job first thing in the morning, and then I went to another job later in the morning, and then I came back for half an hour and then had another meeting at lunchtime. And now I'm here trying to get shit done that I have to do 5,000 things. And it's like, fuck. Oh, and then walking into the podcast. So you have to learn to really protect your time, because now if I'm going to turn around and be like, oh, let me, whatever, process this invoice, this contract, this so on and so forth, that's when you're just going to be busy, not productive.
Yeah, it's very easy to get caught up or pulled in 97 different ways.
Yeah.
And when we went to the acquisition.com, like the Alex Hormozy training, and his wife was on stage and she said this thing, and she's like, you need to get comfortable with letting a fire burn. Yeah, and this was like that. I really resonated with what she said. Really resonated with me, and it was like, you need to get comfortable with letting a fire burn. Sometimes you need to know that the bin on fire is okay because the room's on fire, and I need to sort out the room on fire. The bin on fire, we can let that burn for a bit.
Yeah,
we'll come back to it. It's okay. Like, it's not going to get bigger, hopefully. You know what I mean? Yeah. That'll sort itself out, and we can sort this out over here. Yeah, but definitely feel like that at the moment. I'm sure a lot of people feel the same way. So we were coming into this, and as I said, I was about to tell you, hey, do we push this back? And then I thought, no, I'll just come up with something. And I'm doing, so dude, the way I work now is like multiple AI agents doing stuff. I'm just like, yeah, do this, do this, do this, do this, do this. While I did that, I had a separate AI agent, and I was like, hey, we need a podcast topic for today. And I heard someone ask, I heard a question, and it got me really thinking, and I thought that was going to be a great topic. So I said, hey, I want a bunch of thought-provoking questions for things that we can answer on the podcast. So just very argumentative or thought-provoking, controversial questions. AI produced, but I think they're great.
Yeah, cool.
Because both sides, most of these questions, both sides can be right.
Yeah, cool. It'll be interesting. I think we'll have very similar answers on some of these, though.
Yeah, some of these, though, you're like, oh.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, you're like, oh, I don't know what to do there.
Yeah, okay, cool. Let's go. I like it.
Yeah, so I just thought, no guest today, obviously, and yeah, we just have a conversation about some random questions that can really get you thinking about particular things.
All right, what's the first one off the rank?
Where do we start? This is a good question because there's no right or wrong answer. Like if someone said yes and someone said no, you can't say, no, you're wrong. You know what I mean? Should your crew know what each other earns?
Interesting.
Like, will you be open to being like, hey, you're on 100, you're on 120, he's on 150, you're on 60. And like having that open discussion and everyone being aware. Because when you work in you've worked in big construction companies. When I used to work at Mercedes, it was frowned upon to speak upon your salary.
I think that is relevant in most industries.
Yeah, they don't want you talking about.
Yeah, I think that's a cultural thing in Australia anyway, as far as how much people would earn.
They don't want you talking about how much.
And put it this way, my employees don't know how much they earn. Yeah, each of them earn. So, and it's also maybe it's a confidential thing because some people wouldn't want that. Often salary is linked to status as well. So you could be like,
so is title. It's like saying, okay, don't give anyone a title.
Yeah, of course. And you would know, for example, an apprentice is getting a lot less than a fully qualified carpenter or a supervisor or a manager. So yes, there would be that assumption anyway. Yeah. So it's like, do they want to know the answer? I'll give you an example with what I do. I'm quite open with how much money we make on projects. So all of my employees see the bottom line. They'll see that we're making 100, 200, 300, 500 on a particular project. So they'll see that per project.
What's the What's the
A lot of people don't. I know a
what's the
lot of
method, though?
builders.
Like, why do you do that?
Well, I've got my budgets established, right, on the project, on a build. And I remember this was a thing when I used to work for a previous company where I would know what the project was making. I saw it as a fist pump when we made more than our initial margin. And it was something that I had to protect as the project manager for that company and for that project. I was protecting the margin, and I would do that through letting gains, through other means of managing the project, finishing it early, and so on and so forth. So I saw it as a target and something that needed to be hit. And the way I saw it, and this is again individual, the success of the business was the success of me. If the business did well, I got a bonus. If the business did well, I got on the better jobs. I had a job next year, you know? So for me, I saw it that way. I never saw it as in, oh, fuck those guys. Those directors are making bank and I'm just here slaving away. I never saw it like that. And I kind of would like to have people involved in the business that had that too.
Yeah, but do you think
Look, if they look at it in that regard, they're probably not the right people to be working at this business and going, oh, stuff, George, look how much. As in looking at it in a negative way. Oh, George is making so much money and I'm here slaving away for 50 grand a year or 100 grand a year and he's making 5 million. I said, okay, but then there's still checks and balances with that. This office here doesn't magically appear. Okay, your cars and fuel cards and all the uniforms and the computers and the electricity, that doesn't just magically happen. There's expenses that come with that. So it's not just, yeah, George made $1 million on this project. It's no, there's a whole bunch of things that come operationally that means this business stays open. So I'm quite open with that aspect. I personally wouldn't share those details, although I think you could have a culture where that could work. I think it could.
What sort of culture would that
I don't
be?
know, as in one that you might say you'd have to establish it from day one. It wouldn't be like from the interview process. Just say, so you know, everyone's open and transparent here, even with wages, with all this sort of stuff. But you'll still get people culturally that don't like that and say, no, I don't want this person knowing that I make $150,000 a year, because then it's like the tall poppy syndrome will probably come in. Potentially, I will look at, Josh over here is making 150K. I do twice the amount of work he's doing when I'm making 60K. Why is that the case? And that's where you might breed some contempt. You might breed some resentment. I don't know. I haven't done it.
I don't either. I just think it's a really interesting conversation because
my first initial, well, it's no, because I don't do it. So if I was going to do it, I'd be like, yeah, man, let's do it. Let's go ahead. Everyone knows what everyone's making. There are certain people in the business that know, high level management would know.
Whatever.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but so then you could also argue like, oh, you're in a position. And there's also people who wouldn't be classified as high level management who would know. Like people who might access to books.
Accountant. Like even the accounts lady. May not be the most senior person, but can obviously see payroll.
Yeah, she can see all the
so
numbers,
she sees all the invoices.
Payroll.
Yeah, she's the one that hits send and it goes out.
Sees how much money's coming in, money's going out.
That's right.
Yeah, that's interesting. I find it very interesting. But you know what? I think having a workplace where, if we don't go into this post-capitalist world that everyone's talking about, and having a workplace where it's like, cool, man, like, hey, this is the ranks and you do these things. Like, this is what I've always pictured and what I've tried to start to build, but it's far from concrete. Having a thing of like, these are the ranks and you come in at level 1 and your level 1 is whatever the fucking name you want to give it. And it's like, this is your wage at level 1.
At level 1.
You show
these things.
What's the word?
Initiative?
No, not initiative. What's competency?
Yep.
You show competency in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then you go to this much time minimum. You go to level 2.
I like the saying age doesn't determine ability. So same as time, because you could have a gun that does 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the space of 6 months and nails it. You shouldn't have to do that for 5 years just to get to level 2.
Yeah. So your issue there isn't time; it's how much time.
Yeah.
That's right. But you also shouldn't move them forward in a month.
No, of course.
Yeah. So it might be like, cool, man, like you need to do this for 12 months.
Yeah,
or 6 months.
We need to see that you can deliver.
We need to see that you can do this and do it consistently for a period of time. And when done so, you move to level 2. Yeah. And then when you're at level 2, this is what you get paid. This is your responsibilities. Yeah. These are your remunerations. This is what we expect. This is how you get to level 3.
I think that could work well. I really do.
And
I
then
think
it's
that
like
could
1,
work
2,
well.
3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah.
And then it's kind of like it gives someone clear progression. It's like, cool, man. Like, you know what you need to do. If you do those things, there's no reason you won't move forward.
Yeah.
If you don't do those things, you won't move forward. And it's as simple as that. If you fail to meet those things, you're purely limiting your ability to earn more. And the faster you move, the quicker you'll move up.
Mm.
And I think that creates like if someone's hungry, they're going to come in and they're going to fucking get
They know a
shit done.
pattern. They see the road.
Yeah,
They see the road to go and get more. So I think that could work really well if you set it up like that.
Yeah, you would have to have one. Obviously, you got to be able to do it.
Mm.
That's the first thing, and the second thing is you need to be able to. You got to have the progression path. Like you got to have someone has to have walked that path for you to be able to say, okay, cool, this will work. You know what I mean?
Mm.
All right. Do you like that question?
It's a good one. Start. Just a warm up.
These are so random. They're all somewhat business related,
Yeah.
though, with some personal elements. So here's a personal one. Question 2, we'll call it. Or, yeah, I don't know. I'm going to random
What is
order
the
here.
second one?
Would you sack someone?
Yes.
All right.
I have
Next. Now, would you sack a high-performing employee if you found out they were cheating on their partner?
No.
Ooh.
I say that because I can't. How could I
See how I told you these questions?
Yeah,
make
but
you
how
go,
could I link it? How could I link it to perform? Like, I don't think from a fair work perspective, I could.
What?
As in sack them, unless it affected business operations. How could I do that? Do you know what I mean? It's what they do in their personal life is their own business.
Yeah,
if
but
it started to affect business and they started to go downhill because they were sad and depressed and
hold on.
all that sort of shit.
Okay, so someone's smoking crack on the weekends, but they come in Monday morning sharp as a whistle.
Again, I can't control what people do on the weekend.
So you'd be okay
If I
with your
knew-
employees smoking crack on the weekends?
I mean, is it good quality? Like, I don't know.
100% pure grade.
I can't stop anyone from doing that. So if I knew it, if it started to affect, I could only enforce if it affected them at work.
Is that because that's what you think your limitations are in the current environment?
Potentially. I mean, would I hire them knowing that? No.
Yeah,
So
that's
that's
not
another
the
thing.
question.
Yeah, I know. So do I think they should be doing it? No. I don't what's it called? Endorse any of those actions.
Yeah, but
it's also like I've got to be mindful that
it's a tough question.
yeah, it is. I
It's
mean,
a tough
even from
question.
you could argue, well, culturally that doesn't fit in with your business.
Yeah, it's
And
like
if this person is doing that at home, are they doing that at work? Are they doing
With
that with
stuff you
subbies?
can't
Are they doing
see?
it with
Yeah.
clients? So that's the broader question that gets raised, in which case I would then start to pay attention, because I've had stuff like that happen in the sense of not on that scale. I'm talking about once I start to pay attention, then I see the pattern within the business. From individuals. So if I see that someone's rocking up late for whatever reason, then I'm like, okay, cool. Then I start looking at other things. And then all of a sudden I'm like, okay, cool, you got to go. That happened with a previous GM that used to work with me. He had stuff going on outside of the business world, which started, I believe, to affect him here and his performance. And he started making mistakes, started costing money. And it ended up getting to a position where I had to go, cool, this has to end. Nothing to do with him personally. Like I like the guy. But it got to the point where I was like, this can't operate anymore. So I think those things, it'd be very, very difficult for a person to switch off and get white line fever on Monday morning and switch off at Friday night and go do whatever he's going to do outside of business hours. So I think it eventually would transpond into business, and it would probably lead to them getting ousted.
yeah, it's a tough question.
I think it's a no initially, but I think it would become a yes. I just don't see how people are not that emotionally strong to just be a complete beast at work and then play up outside. It would blend in eventually in some aspects.
As in there would be like a leakage.
I think so. It would have to. Like, as I said, it might not mean that they're going to cheat with someone in the office, but maybe it means that they're unethical in the way they handle a client or money or
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
subbies or
So
stuff.
do you start to think, okay,
would. I would
this
have to.
person
I would have to.
isn't loyal,
Yes, I would have
or
to
this
think that.
person,
As in, I know myself, I would think those things, yes.
Yeah.
So if I found that out about these people that are doing these things, whether it's recreational stuff outside of work, whether they're not loyal, whether it's, I don't know, unethical stuff outside of business, I would then look at that and go, okay, you are that person. You're not a different person outside of business and inside business. Like I always say, I don't believe in work-life balance. I don't think it exists. It's a work-life priority. It's a blend. You don't transform into a magical person outside of business hours. I am always George. So it's just what version am I going to be bringing in at work? And eventually that's going to seep in. So I think initially when I would find out, there's not much you can do, but then it would start to raise the question and I would start to pay attention to certain things. And then I think eventually it would affect them. What about yourself?
What about myself?
Yeah.
For that question?
Mm-hmm.
It would definitely, I don't know if I would look past it.
Mm. Yeah, you'd see them in a different light.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I think you would just be like, huh. Like, if you can do that comfortably, what else are you doing? Do you know what I mean? Yeah, I think I don't know. I don't know. It's a very, very tough question because there's also the lack of context.
Yeah.
Like, what sort of relationship are you in? Do you have kids?
Mm-hmm.
Are you married with kids? That's a very different relationship to a guy who's just dating someone he's known for a couple of months. It doesn't make it right. But yeah, you definitely kind of, I don't know. I feel like I wouldn't be able to trust that person after that. Because I would just be like, huh, like I would assume you care about that more than you care about work.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so if you're willing to do that in that area of your life, you don't give a shit about this. Like the second something comes up, you're going to kind of jump ship or, screw us over or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And I think it would really raise a flag with me there. At what point do you think it's not okay to ask someone that?
Ask them which?
Like at what point, this is where, no one teaches you how to do this as an employer, but it's like, okay, cool. You start to notice something initially. Like if you notice it, you're not gonna be like, hey, you cheating on your missus, come here. Like, you're not.
Yeah.
You're just not, right? Like initially you might see something, you might be like, and then you might say, okay, cool, like whatever. Fucking, I don't give a fuck. Got 1,300 fires over here. I'm just gonna look at the fire. And then eventually it might, turn into like something other people start to notice. And then it's like, okay, cool. At what point do you say, hey, come into my office? Like what has to happen to that point? And at what point are you crossing a line where it's like, hey, who the fuck are you to tell me what I should be doing in my private life?
Oh, it would never be that though. It can never be that conversation.
But so there would be at no point would
No. It could never go to that path. It could never lead into that conversation. What you're doing, you're right. I've got no say in what you're doing.
But so you would never pull them into your office?
I would pull them into my office
because
it would be affecting business operations. To say, listen, I've noticed that these things are happening and it's affecting your work. What you've got going on in your personal life is your business, but whilst you're in these four walls, it's my business. So that's how I would approach it. You can't get rid of them or put anything on them because of what they do outside of the hours of their operation in the business. But I would definitely pull them up and say, hey, you are a liability and I got to let you go.
Yeah, it's
I mean, I've had the conversation. It's not pleasant. It's not a pleasant one. Like I've done it before.
What, pulled someone up because they were a liability?
Yeah, absolutely.
That scenario?
Not from a cheating perspective, but from they had other stuff going on that affected their business, that affected their role in the business. And I had to pull them up and say, listen, this isn't a working relationship anymore that's beneficial for me or for you. And as it turned out, they went elsewhere and they were better off and good on them. And that's fine. I'm happy for them. But at the end of the day, whilst they were here and going through that stuff, it was detrimental. Like it cost us money, it cost us time, it cost us reputation. So I was like, well, that's got to end. That's got to go.
Do you, if someone on your team is clearly in a bad way,
Mhm.
and you see it, and you ask them, and they say, "I'm good." What do you do?
I would definitely approach, and I have in the past.
Yeah, but like, okay,
I would say,
so let's just say
what's going on? I'm
let's say
here
I'm
for you.
working
What do
for
you
you.
need?
Yeah, let's just say I'm working for you, and you come and you say those things, and I say, "Oh, I'm good, man,"
You're good.
and you know,
Well, knowing how good, like you tend to get I do anyway. I get
You
close with my
understand.
employees. Like I know them on a personal level, aside from the fact that I'm related to 90% of them. But even yourself now, I see you almost every day. I see you probably more than I see my missus,
Yeah.
right? So I've got a level of understanding. You say, no, I'm good. Like even you, man, you've seen me times. You're like, hey, you're all right. Like I know you're not because you're not yourself. You're stressed. You're this.
Yeah.
You're that. Like what's going on? And you just know, and you can pull me up on it. And there's been times where it's been like, oh man, I'm glad you noticed, or I'm glad you said something. So I think it's just you've got to have that emotional intelligence and just be a little bit more persistent and go, no, I know you're not right, dude. I know you're not. You can tell me you're not. You can lie. You can bullshit a bullshit. You can't bullshit a bullshitter. Like, I know you're not all right. Tell me what's up. Or you know what? Take the week off. No, I don't need to. I want you. I'm actually not asking. You have to take the week off. I've got you this week. Whatever. But you have to have that emotional intelligence, let's call it, to be able to pull someone up on that.
Yeah,
And genuinely
Read the
care.
room.
It's
Read the
empathy.
room.
Like, yeah, you've got to care about them because if you don't give a fuck, you're never going to do that. Let's be honest. If you don't care about the person, you're like, hey, work to the bone. I don't care. As long as you're not costing me money or whatever it is, you're not going to care. But if you got to have genuine empathy for them.
Okay. Interesting.
Hmm.
Good questions, huh?
Yeah.
All right, next question. Would you rather work for a good bloke who pays late or work for a prick who pays on time?
Work for a prick that pays on time.
Serious?
Yeah. Yeah. I can handle pricks.
Why?
I can handle. I was always say like 99% of my problems are always it tends to be cash flow. I can handle problems. I can handle issues. I can handle bad people. Just pay on time, dude. Pay on time, pay in full. I can handle everything else. Because the good blokes like, dude, I've got this now. Like the nicest people on the fucking planet, the nicest person, all right? Like you wouldn't, and they there's some money that's owed, and they're just like, I'm sorry, well, I'm like, okay, that's cool. Like, give me a hug. Like, it's okay. But it still puts you in a difficult position from a business point of view. So at least I know and can plan for that person. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to go out and do more work for them. Maybe in the future I decide, hey, he's far too much effort than what I want to take on as a client. Or if he's giving you $1 million a month, but he's just an asshole, all right, let's go. I can deal with assholes.
But he's paying on time.
I would do that. Yeah, I honestly would. Yeah. I'd rather him swear at me when he pays me. Go for it, man. That's cool. I'm happy for that.
Why do you think I guess cash flow problems must be a big...
Yeah, I think in our industry as well, it's rampant. So just paying on time is very important from all avenues. We've been guilty of it too, and we're trying to where we've been delayed on some payments, but we've always made it and always tried to do the right thing by everyone. So it's it's just got a thing you've got to manage.
How long does the good bloke category remain on a person who pays late? Like, how long do they have to? Because eventually it's like, you know what, man? Like, you're a nice guy, but seriously, like, you're difficult.
Yeah, exactly. Because then they become the difficult one. Anyway. Yeah. So it's going to get to they're going to still be difficult when they're paid late. Still doesn't make it easy. So at least I know from the day one that, okay, on the first of each month, I've got money in the bank. He's going to swear at me. He's going to make us work for it. But that's cool. That's what we're here to do. We're here to work. So that's fine.
Pay your bills on time.
Yeah,
Pay your bills on time, everyone.
Yeah, that's it.
Pay your bills on time. Have you ever been the person to not pay the bills on time?
Yeah.
I have too,
Yeah. I hate it. I hate two things in business. I hate being owed money and I hate owing money. It's a bad feeling. Like it's not. It is business.
Business is the act of being owed money and owing people money.
I know.
Yeah, and then keeping hopefully
having some left over.
Having some left over. Yeah.
Yeah. Look, it's not great. It just does sometimes. You've got to make those difficult decisions to hold back on certain things, even from personal. Like it's not like I'll then go out. Okay, I'll never do this. I'll never not pay someone. But then you see me at Porsche on the weekend buying a brand new car.
Yeah, and it's like,
I'll never fucking do that.
Yeah.
I would be so oh man, I'd feel like the shittest person doing shit like that. I couldn't do it. You know?
Do you reckon
And
people do that? Do you reckon people are withholding cash from people and then going and spending frivolously like that? You know?
I think the people that do that are the people that never intend to pay anyway.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So yes, I do think that that's the case sometimes.
Okay. Next question. Do you support your team doing cash jobs on the weekends if they're doing the same trade, whether it's your subbies or not? Oh, actually, I guess your
My
team.
employees.
You like your carpenters.
Yes.
Not touching your clients though.
Yes.
So they're not touching your clients, but they're working and doing cash jobs on the weekend.
Yep. Go for it.
Why?
Well, I'm happy for you to win. And if you're not working for me, then absolutely you can. So the only time I would say it would become an issue, okay, and this is a perfect example because I'm going through it right now. So I don't enforce Saturday work. Contractually, like employee contracts, you are engaged to work Saturdays when required. So we're coming into the completion of a big job at the moment, and we've got weeks left, like literally 2 weeks time, we're handing over this build and it's
must be
huge. Oh, there's people everywhere. I was there today, just walking around, just making sure I pick up anything that they've missed, whatever it might be. So there's lots and lots and lots of work. Yeah, the final touches.
Book it in for a shoot, no?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. It's probably a good time because there's bodies everywhere and it's good to do.
Now?
Yeah. Yeah, maybe this week.
We'll talk after this.
Yeah, good. Lock it in. Simon can take that one over. So what was that? Oh yeah. So I've told the team that, hey, Saturdays are on the books now. Yeah. Every single person is expected to be working Saturdays to get this job finished. There's no, I'm choosing not to come in. No, you don't get that option. You are working Saturday. Don't book them in. Don't book anything in. You are expected to be on site working. That's it. So on that instance, if you're like, oh, I've got to go build a pergola on the weekend. I'm like, no, you don't. You're working for me. Push it back 3 weeks. I don't care. You can do it. Just push it back for when you're not required at work. This is a requirement of you to be at work. So I think you've got to set that parameter nice and early. I do it at contract signing, saying, hey, there's not requirements of Saturdays, but we will. And when say I do need someone to work on a Saturday, I give them a notice. So it's not like I'm like Friday night at 4:30. I say, hey, I need you to work tomorrow, and I expect you to be there. It's on Tuesday. I say, hey, it's a good chance you're going to be working on Saturday because we've got to finish this, and this.
So what happens if an employee has something booked?
Then unbook it. If you want to go do that, go do it. Go work for yourself. Go out and do it.
No, what if they got something else booked? What if they're like,
like
man,
a birthday?
Yeah.
I'm not an asshole.
Yeah.
Like, do it. Go for it. But for this instance where this job's done, if you've got a birthday booked, tell them you're coming late. You'll be there after work. You're not going.
Oh, so you're not letting them.
No, absolutely.
Dude, you just contradicted
No,
what you said.
sorry. If I mean like if it's not an urgent thing that needs to be done, like if it's
It's
a
grandmother's
Saturday,
birthday.
Hopefully she gets to the next one.
Oh, dude.
Nah, mate.
I don't believe you.
Hey, it's happening.
I don't
It's
believe
happening.
I don't believe you.
So it needs to happen. If it's not me, then someone else has to cover for you. Because our projects are a team thing. It's not like one individual.
Yeah.
So cool. If you can't be there, then this person has to be there. Sort it out. But someone's here on Saturday, and if someone's got to cover for you, they'll cover for you next time. Whatever it's going to be. And so it's a team effort, but the expectation is at that stage of the job, in the last month, 2 months, it is expected Saturdays, overtime, whatever has to happen to get that job built has to happen. And if you don't like it, there's the door.
Why do you have that? And so I know this, but many people wouldn't. Your Saturdays are counted into the salary.
Correct.
Yeah. So you don't pay overtime.
No. I do with some employees, sorry. So my wage-based employees, so the way I see that is if you're a carpenter, my carpenters and laborers or apprentices, I pay them on an hourly rate. Management, I pay on an annual salary. So your annual salary
is GMs, supervisors.
Yeah, supervisors, CAs.
CAs as well.
Yeah, I'll consider them management. Even my PA, I would consider management. So I pay them on that basis. You are on an annual salary. You get paid well above award. So you're already compensated for any overtime that you do throughout the year.
Yeah, but do you then do you roll it over?
In what regard?
Like work a Saturday, get an RDO or
Sometimes.
something.
Sometimes I'll do that in good faith. I don't have to.
It's not in the contract.
No, well, no,
Yeah.
but I would do. Yeah, it's not in the contract, correct? But I would do that if someone's putting in a great big effort. Like I remember one of my supervisors, Nick. We were finishing some apartments in Brighton. He killed it. Like he worked Saturdays. He was working till 5, 6 o'clock each night. I'm like, hey, like we wanted to take a few days off camping. He said, yeah, just go, dude. Like it's on me. Don't stress. So he took 2, 3 days off, and I was like happy to give it to him, man, because he worked really hard. He delivered the job, and he delivered an excellent product.
Do you think people? Do you think? I guess it's. Do you think people prefer to have the thing written in, like if I do this, I do this, not well, if George wants to reward me for this, then I'll get that. You know what I mean? Like they don't want to do it based on how you feel about the situation. They'd rather do it based on a written contractual agreement. Like if I work Saturdays, I get paid X, or if I work Saturdays, I get, RDO in the bank or whatever it is.
I mean,
right?
yeah, you can negotiate it like that. I've got no issues like that. But then I would also say, cool, if you're going to work Saturdays, well, this is your wage now. If you're going to get paid extra for Saturdays or overtime, then this is your base wage. So that might be reflective of that overtime. So maybe you'll get a reduced salary, but you get OT. You get a reduced base wage, but now you get overtime.
Do you allow for people to negotiate their salaries?
I'm happy to have a negotiation with people before they're employed. Yeah. As in, if I'm looking to employ someone, yeah, I mean, most people would, especially if it's a senior position. I'd kind of half expect you to.
Be disappointed.
Yeah. Like, well, you're here if you can't negotiate your own wage, how are you going to negotiate a multi-million-dollar contract for me, or subcontract agreements or anything like that?
Okay. Because then that's, I guess at what point do you turn around and say, you know what, this is, because we got into this topic from the doing their own work, like doing cashies, right? And if you've got a carpenter, they're doing a cashier, and they're like, hey, I've got, I'm doing this, building a frame, whatever it is, some like a big job, a pergola. Pergolas are massive. You gotta be very qualified carpenter to build a pergola.
That's it. And have all the permits in place.
All the permits, always. I frame them. I'll put it up on the wall. I haven't built a pergola. If you work for the council. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, the cashies. So, at what point do you turn around and say, "Hey," because like you flip the script. I'm the carpenter. You're the boss, and I'm like, "All right, cool, man. Like I like working for Pascon. I work Monday to Friday. I also do cashies every weekend. You know what I mean? Cashies every weekend. I've got so many cashies. Every Saturday, Sunday, I'm doing cashies. Saturday, Sunday, Saturday, Sunday, Saturday, Sunday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yep.
And I just work 7 days, nonstop. I'm like a workhorse. I'm making bank.
Yep.
Barely getting by, but. And then it's like, cool, you go, hey, it's busy. I need you to work. Saturday. And I say, okay, cool.
If we discuss this, if we had, before he gets a job, he says, listen, George, I do every Saturday, Sunday, I do cashies. I work 7 days. So I go, I'm actually not available to do any Saturday work. If I was okay with, I said, yeah, you know what? Hey, I'm happy to have you Monday to Friday. Then I know my expectation. I know that I can't rely on Joshua working on a Saturday. He's just out of the question. So I just won't. I can now plan for that. I say, cool. Hey, Joshua's not working. Never works Saturdays. Never works Sundays.
In later.
If it comes in and said, I can ask. I say, hey, by any chance do you not have a cashier this week? Well, he's like, actually, yeah, I'm free. Do you want me to work? So yeah, cool, come work. So I would work in with him. I'm not a dick. I would purely base it on merit, and if he's had that conversation with me. But if we've agreed before that you work Saturdays, and now you're booking in cashies on Saturdays and you can't work for me, but I've employed you to work Saturdays when I need you to work, then you're not fulfilling your obligations to me and what we agreed on. And if you want to change that agreement, well, if I think that's okay for me to change, then I say, yeah, cool, let's do it. If not, then go out and do cashies every day and start your own business. So as long as it fulfills the needs of the business, I'm happy.
I think you got to have that in written.
Absolutely. So many people don't have contracts.
No. I'm not talking about contracts. I'm talking about you don't have the number of Saturdays written down. If you say, yeah, I've got you for 12 Saturdays a year.
Maybe you do that. Yeah. Maybe you say, so I've got you for 12. Yeah.
I've got you for a maximum of 12, meaning I can call on you 12 times and you need to fulfill.
Yep.
Or because like yours, like let's just say you choose tomorrow to be like, fuck it, I'm gonna start smashing the boys every Saturday.
Mhm.
Well, they can't say no, can they? With keeping their job.
Yeah, technically, but
Yeah,
they're
so
also
that's what I'm
getting
saying.
remunerated for it already.
Hey,
So I'm already paying them over.
yeah, but it doesn't. That doesn't. They get paid the same whether they work it or not. So it doesn't. They don't see it that way.
Yes, I know. Yes, I know what you're saying.
Yeah,
but
so to them, it's the
I
same
don't. I
thing.
wouldn't do that though. Anyway.
I know.
Yeah, and
but,
I've never been like that in the 10 years.
but if George
It's
gets
just-
angry tomorrow,
yeah, I'm angry now.
Yeah.
I'm angry now. Everyone's working.
but do you get what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
it's like,
I do. But I know that I wouldn't put that parameter in place.
yeah, but they don't.
No, they do because it's been like that for the last 10 years.
No, but,
And a lot of them have been with me for a long time.
But they don't know.
But I say that at the interview stage too. I say, listen, there's the expectation of Saturdays, but I don't get you to work every Saturday. You work Saturday when it's asked, and if you're available. You work Saturdays at peak periods of projects. That's when we would expect you to do. Other than that, I might say you've got half a dozen in a year.
Let me ask you.
So I would happily say, even if I said, put it this way, if I said to the team, you all owe me 12 Saturdays, they would still be ahead because I wouldn't get them to work 12 Saturdays in a year.
Yeah, I understand, but all right, let me flip the script. If you paid overtime,
Yeah.
how much overtime would you be paying?
Is in hours.
Not legally. Like even if what's it going to cost you an extra $5,000 a year?
Oh yeah, whatever it is, it's fuck
Yeah.
all. Yeah.
Like
Yes,
maybe $20,000 across your whole team max. Isn't that worth what you think they would get out of it? And
Yeah,
how much
sometimes.
easier?
Yeah, it
I'm
could
gonna. This is Pascon team. We're gonna.
they're all
like-
gonna
Yeah.
mutiny. There's gonna be mutiny.
They're gonna. I'm gonna become their emperor.
They're lucky to have
gonna-
a job at the moment, so might get rid of them all after this.
But don't you think it would be easier for you to then convince them to work Saturdays?
No, I don't have difficulties now. I don't have any difficulties with my team getting them to work a Saturday. They all work it because they want their job. They've got ownership on their jobs, and they want their job to be good.
Yeah, but so do you think if I asked them, would they like to be remunerated for Saturdays? What do you think they would say?
Always, yes. Yeah, anyone would. If I get more money, yeah, absolutely.
But how much more do you think? Like, do you think the cost to the business versus the outcome of the employees? Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Or
I do.
am I
No,
making sense? Yeah.
100%. I do.
I think
100%
it's a little cost for massive gain.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
yeah, it could very well be.
Everyone's going to get fired after this.
Everyone, they're all fired.
They're all fired. You can't ask for Saturdays. You don't have a job. Okay.
I feel like I'm answering a lot of these questions. Have you got an answer,
What was
response to that?
Well, I can't remember what the question was. What was the initial question? Cashies on the side?
Oh, cash is on the side. So would you
yeah,
care if
as
your
long-
videographer was doing videos on a weekend for
Nah.
other businesses?
Nope.
Yeah.
I got 2 rules.
Yeah.
If you're taking stuff off our plate, we're going to have a conversation about
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
And
you can't
if-
take out clients.
Yeah. And I also say to the team, if you have a job and you want to do it, but you don't want to do it alone, and you bring it into the company, we'll pay you.
Oh, of
for
course. Yeah,
for
remuneration.
sourcing it. Yeah.
Absolutely.
We'll pay
I
you
think
for
that's great.
sourcing it because, so
didn't
that
have
way
it
you still
before.
get a bit of extra cash. You can still do it in your working hours. So you're going to get paid to do it anyway. You're going to get paid for bringing it in. And, it might be a job you're really interested in doing or whatever it might be, as long as it's a decent job.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to go do a shitty job and you bring it in and we're going to pay you for the shitty job and it's going to create headaches and fuck the whole team up. Yeah. So from that side, yeah, I got no issues. I also tell dude, I think the best, our best team members are the ones who can problem solve and work things out.
Mhm.
And I believe putting yourself in a position where you do cashies and stuff, you're forced to work shit out.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean? It puts you in a position where you have to work out how to solve this. And I believe you end up with a better team member.
Mm.
Do you know what I mean? And everyone's going to leave.
Eventually, yeah.
Yeah, everyone, me included.
Yep.
It's like one day you're going to check out, whether you resign or you die or you sell the business or whatever it is. Like one day you're going to check out, they're going to check out too. And my whole rule with everyone we employ, I say this during the interview. I say, hey, it's a two-way street. You come into the business, we want you to leave the business better than you found it. And we want to leave you better than we found you.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
That's a great
And
rule.
it's like we are better off. We are both better off for this relationship.
Yeah.
You came in, you helped us, made it better. We also helped you grow, learn some skills. You know what I mean? Made you better. You had some fun, and that's it. And
a win.
at some point, it comes to an end. And whenever that end comes,
We'll
shake
sort that
hands,
out.
hug it out, and go separate ways.
Yeah, that's it.
So I've got no issue with that at all.
Mhm.
When it would be an issue is if it started impacting, they're not coming in on Monday mornings because they're working Sunday nights, or they're working all night during the week and they're always tired at work, or they're late.
Yeah.
But then we have that conversation. Okay. What else have we got here? We asked that. Is it fair to expect someone to answer their phone after knocking off?
Depends on their role, but now it's a legal requirement. Like it's not. What's the law? Right to refuse or something like that. Right to disconnect. I think it's called. They don't have to answer after hours.
That's in place.
Yeah.
We spoke about it.
Yeah. So, I mean, I guess it depends on the role, how senior it is, and what they're doing. You can call if they answer, great. If not, sort it out in the morning.
Yeah, I think within reason.
Yeah, I mean,
Like-
if it's a once-off, like if you're calling every single day at 6:30 p.m. and you're busting balls, it's like, hey, what's this? Why haven't you done this? How come you haven't done that? Like, I don't think that's the right thing to do.
No, so we do most of our comms on Slack, and like I tell the team, I say if I message you after hours on Slack, don't reply. I'm messaging you so that I don't forget. Like I'll drop a message in Slack. Like you don't respond to anything. I don't have no expectation that you respond. If I need you, I will call your phone.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Or if they're remote, I'll say like I'll WhatsApp you. Like if I need you, there's like something's wrong, I'll WhatsApp you.
Yeah.
Like that's how we'll get a hold of you. But if it's on Slack, it's outside of work hours, don't stress. I'll message you on a Saturday just because I'm doing some stuff and I notice something and I don't want to have to wait and remember and then forget. It's like I'm just gonna message you now and you come in and you see it Monday morning.
Yeah.
Cool. That's all good. And I would say our team's pretty good like that. Most of them tend to reply anyway. Like I'll message you on Slack and they'll reply. I'm like, you don't have to reply. I'm just messaging you now because, in 2 days' time, I'm not going to remember sending this message. Okay. Would you give an honest reference to someone you sacked?
As in a positive or a negative one?
An honest one.
An honest one. Yeah, was the question. That was the question. Yeah, I would.
So hold on, but what does that mean? So like, for
Yeah.
example, let's just say you and I don't know each other, and you hire someone. We'll call him
Let's call him
Philip.
Philip.
Yeah, and you hire Philip, and he comes, he works for you, and he is the lowest employee, late, messy, no idea what's happening, causes chaos, and 3 weeks in, maybe a month in, maybe even. He makes it 6 months because you were so busy at the start that you didn't pay attention, and then you worked out, after a few months, you're like, all right, this is not going to last, and then you phased him out, following everything Fair Work expects you to do, of course. Yeah. And then, a few weeks later, Philip calls you and he says, George, it's Philip. Do you mind?
Who? I deleted you from
Didn't
my
I
memory,
block you?
Yeah.
Um,
How'd you get this number?
George, it's Philip, and I need to put a couple of references down for my work history. Is it okay if I put you? And you say, oh, sure. And you think, I'm fucking, this guy's an idiot.
Yeah.
Anyway, so you put
Why do you
down.
laugh? Why are you laughing?
I'm laughing at Philip. What an idiot.
What a dumb shit. What are you doing, Phil?
Anyway, so he puts you down, and then,
Boy,
a couple of
calls
days later, you're there, your phone rings, you say, hello, George speaking. And I say, hey, George, Robbie from Legacy Media. You got a minute? I just want to have a quick chat to you about someone who's
Go.
placed you down
Yes.
as a reference.
Robbie,
Robbie.
Philip. How are you, mate? You well? You
I'm
busy?
good.
You busy? You got to be on at the moment?
Yeah, heaps. We're hiring heaps.
Yeah, good.
And
I'm looking for a videographer and marketing guy.
And we've just had Philip. He seems great. And he said he worked with you for 6 months. Do you want to tell me? Do you want to tell me a little bit about?
Yes.
Ooh, he's spoken really highly of himself, George.
Of himself.
Yeah,
Of course he did.
He's come in all guns
Of course he
blazing.
did. He did the same with me.
What would you do?
I would do this. If it was a bad, so did I have a negative experience, obviously, because I've fired Phil. when Phil calls me up to say, hey, can you give me a reference? I'd say, Phil.
Hold on. Let's scrap that bit. Let's say he didn't
we're
even
getting
call
rid
you.
of that?
He just
If he didn't call because I've said, Phil, come on, mate.
yeah, Phil.
Come on.
Stop it.
Stop it.
I already fired you.
Do you want me to fire you again?
He didn't call you? He
Okay,
just
he
put
didn't
you
call
down
me.
as a reference.
And then Robbie calls me up and
Yeah.
says, hey, Phil wants a job. What do you reckon?
wants a job, yeah, what do
I'd
you
tell you to
reckon?
run like you're on fire.
Would you really?
Yeah, 100%.
Oh,
I would. 100%. I wouldn't even hesitate. And the reason is this. I know what it takes to run a business. You know what it takes to run a business. I have empathy for you as a business owner before I've even spoken to you. I know how hard it is to win in business. And let's pretend you weren't Legacy Media. Let's pretend you were another builder.
Yeah.
You're my competition. Okay. You're my competition. And I know by you hiring Phil, I'm gonna win.
okay.
I'll be like, hey, dude, listen to me and listen to me well. Like, run like you're on fire. Do not hire this kid. He's no good. I'll tell you why. This.
So
Okay.
you just ruin Phil's life.
I would ruin Phil's life. I didn't ruin Phil's life.
Little
He
Phil.
ruined it himself.
Little Phil.
Little Phil's going to grow up.
He's gonna.
He's going to learn the hard way. No, it's like if he's done the wrong thing by me, then I'd just be honest. I say, listen, I'm going to tell you the truth. This is why I got rid of him. I don't know if he's grown or if he's changed in the meantime. Maybe he's become a different person. I'm not too sure. It's been 6 months since he's spoken to me, but the reasons I let him go were for X, Y, Z. And would I hire him again? No, I personally wouldn't. And based off assuming he is exactly the same as what he was when he left me, I can't refer him as someone that I would put at my business or recommend for you to do. So I would be openly honest, because you know what, mate, just because you need a job and you've put me down, like you've done the wrong thing by me enough for me to fire you. And now you want me to go and vouch for you? That's my name and reputation. So what if this guy puts him on and says, that George guy who trains all these builders, who does all this stuff and goes out there to be a beacon of everyone, vouched for this guy and said he was good. So then I'm lying to the business owner instead of being honest to him.
And then 6 weeks later, you walk outside your office and Phil's there on the side of the road, homeless.
Homeless?
Yeah, and couldn't, needed to pay for his rent, couldn't, had one last swing at a job, but they wouldn't take him on without speaking to his last employer. And then you're responsible for Phil dying on the streets.
I'm not. Here's the thing. I don't feel anything for him. I'd walk over him.
I would step on him.
It's funny. It's like, there was this study done about people who have gone through difficulties. Okay. And the funny thing about that study was they didn't actually feel empathy for people that are going through the same thing. All right?
Yeah. So
they actually feel like, hey, like, toughen the fuck up. Like, I've done this. This isn't, pick yourself up, go again. You think that's difficult. They end up having a chip on their shoulder for that person.
Yeah, I would say people go the other way as well.
Yeah.
And they can completely empathize with someone who they relate to.
Yes. Yeah, and there is that aspect of it too. But you know what? I wouldn't feel. I'd be sad. I'd be like, oh, that's sad that you're there, man. But it's nothing to do with me. You put yourself there. I was just a stepping stone in that journey. Take responsibility. I've got huge levels of responsibility. That to me is someone who hasn't taken responsibility. It's funny. I went for a walk with a mate the other day, and we walked past a homeless person sitting on the street. And it was like, could you ever see yourself there? I said, no, never. Like, I could never see myself being in a position where I have to sit on the street like that. And it's like, first of all, I've got enough family and friends that I could call someone and sleep on a couch if I had to. Also, I've got no shame. I will pack bags at Coles if I need to. Do you know what I mean? Like, whatever I need to do to get myself back up. I'll go pack bags. I'll make my $32 an hour. I'll go live in the outer western, eastern, southern suburbs in a 1-bedroom apartment, whatever I have to do.
Yeah,
until I then got
to
the
make-
next job, until I
make
got a
ends meet,
promotion,
yeah.
and now I'm at a checkout chick, and then I'm a manager, and then I'm whatever it is.
Check out Chick.
Yeah, do they still exist? I don't even know. They're AI chicks now.
Do they?
So, whatever it is.
Isn't that a level of sexism? You know, McDonald's, the boys work in the back and the girls work at the front. Did you know that?
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So like, if you're
Surely boys work at the front. I've been served like
yeah, but like mainly,
yeah.
it's like if that's just if you're one of the guys, you work at the back. You have to do the cooking and the cleaning, and the
dirty
girls
work.
tend to do the service.
Yep. Well, I mean, that's
That's what I've been
I actually
told.
don't have an
That's what
issue
I've
with
been
that.
told.
I don't
Huh?
have an issue with that.
Yeah, but
Who are you speaking to? No, but from the perspective of like girls, so Jordan Peterson says this, like women are more interested in people, men are more interested in things. Like that's the two core, like if there's a difference between men and women, that's it. So men being interested in things would be interested in the cooking, in the cleaning, in the hard yakka,
burgers and stuff.
whereas the women would be more inclined to be like, hi, how are you? Would you like fries with that? So it does make sense from that psychological perspective.
Yeah,
and
I don't
difference.
disagree with it.
Yeah. Yeah, so I don't have an issue with
I'm
that
just
either.
trying to
Just trying
stoke
to
the fire.
Yeah, just trying to rizz us up.
Okay. This actually is a segue into the next question, which is great. And it's this. Has the mental health push in the construction industry actually helped, or has it become a box we tick? And is the old site culture is it something that used to kind of toughen blokes up? Like, so you think about all the jokes they play on apprentices. I've been, I don't want to say victim, but I've
Well,
experienced.
you were an apprentice.
Yeah, I've experienced that.
Yeah.
And do you think that is do you think we're taking away from the thing that toughened people up, or do you think that was bullying that was just covered up?
I think that style of management is definitely
Fading?
yeah, and I think it's for the better.
Yeah, which style
I think
of
as in
which style
like
of management?
real authority. So let's just go back to when you think of an old school builder or foreman or someone like that, real authoritarian, my way or the highway, yells, swears,
Yeah, but no,
abusive,
I don't think
like
we're
just
talking about
really front. Like, yeah,
I guess
but I
what
think
I'm
that
saying-
contributes to it too, right? Because the way I've heard my father's generation of apprentices, for example, being spoken to, and what they went through when they were apprentices. So builders today, say a 45-year-old builder, 50-year-old builder of today when he was an apprentice.
You just realised you're
30s
close
a
to
year.
45, huh?
I have to up that age a little bit. But let's just say 25 years ago, 30 years ago, when someone was an apprentice, the way that you taught an apprentice was to yell at them. You know, the way you taught an apprentice was throwing a hammer at
Yeah,
them.
but so,
and
okay.
like,
George,
and saying,
you
"Hey,
could,
do
you
it
could
like this."
argue, you know, that way you parented was you'd yell at them.
But
and you'd
yeah,
smack
and
kids.
they didn't know
and
any
blah,
better.
blah.
Yeah,
And
they didn't know any better.
Teachers,
Yeah, that's
teachers
right.
would smack
Yeah.
kids.
Hey, I used to go to Greek school and our teacher used to hit us with a ruler.
Did you go to Greek school?
Yeah, I did. All the way to year 12.
Really?
Yeah.
Fuck.
That's it.
Are you that Greek?
I've got a Greek flag on my chest and everything.
That's pretty Greek, man.
It's very Greek.
We should go to a Greek restaurant.
We should go to a Greek dance. I don't know.
It's very fast dancing.
Yeah.
What do they call it? The round thing?
Circle dancing.
Come on. What's it called?
There's different types.
You know, they hold hands and they-
Yeah, of course. I think you're just thinking of like the
You know what I'm talking about.
yeah, I do. I'm just trying to think of the name.
I don't
Like the Zorba the Greek type
Yeah,
dancing
yeah,
when you're
yeah.
going around in a circle. Yeah. There's different styles and forms. But back to what we were saying. I do think that it's better. Yes, I think the way that the
Yeah.
management style and that has had a positive influence on it. I don't think it's detrimental.
No, so I'm not talking about management styles though. I'm talking about, have we softened up too much as a, has the culture softened up too much for
I don't think so.
for an industry that requires a level of
Of grit.
yeah.
Yeah, and toughness. No, I still think that toughness is there. I still think there's a level of, I think that still exists. And I've seen it with many apprentices, with many young people in the industry. Like there are days where it is hard work and you have to persevere through that hard work. And this is where even what I said earlier, where people don't feel sorry for, like the more senior guys don't feel sorry for apprentices. Why? Because they've done all that before. Hey, I've had to carry bricks from the ground floor all the way to the third floor. All right, get cracking. Like, get moving. You're young, you're fit, get moving, right? I know this will take you all day. You're going to be tired. You might even get a few cuts. Here's some Band-Aids. All right, but this is the job. You have to do the job. If you can't manage today, you won't ever be able to manage it in 10 years' time. It's only going to get harder. So today is the test. So there is that level of, that still exists now. I don't think that that's a bad thing. I think that does build some resilience and some toughness in them.
Yeah, but do you think it has, do you think it's, so do you think people are just as tough as they always were? Or do you think they've
No, I feel, and look, this is partly the reason we're experiencing a shortage in the industry as well, because people don't want to be working that hard anymore. And they don't need to. The internet is an amazing thing. AI now, it's an amazing thing. It's made it so that a lot of people don't have to go out and work laborious jobs anymore. They can make money on the internet. They can make money using a computer these days as opposed to being on site and laboring away. So we are getting a shortage of that for sure. That is definitely coming through. And the older guys are retiring and the new ones replacing them are not in the quantities that they need to be.
Yeah, but what's that? How does that? Do you think that's because of this?
I think, I think the nature of the work, construction can be hard. Like, don't get me wrong, there are days where it's not hard. There are days where you just work a good day and you do stuff. But there are days on site for site guys that I've seen. I've done it myself. I've seen some people work really hard yakka days. Like pouring concrete is very rarely an easy day. You know, pouring concrete's a laborious job. You got to move a lot. You got to bend over a lot.
As a site supervisor or as a concreter?
Not as a concreter, like the person doing the do. Like doing the do.
Dude.
Yeah. I mean, carpentry can be difficult as well. You'd be walking as a trader, you'd be walking 20,000 steps a day, carrying materials, bricklaying. That's a dying trade. Back when I first started my construction company, we were placing bricks for 90 cents a brick is what we were paying. Brick is to lay bricks. Now to do it, it's like $3, $2.50 to $3 a brick because it's a dying trade. People are not doing that job anymore.
Yeah, but I guess is it? So
I still feel that the mental toughness thing is there. Like there's still a level of grit that they need to have. It's not as, even though it's more, I think where it's changed from a mental health perspective is you're just not hurling abuse at those people anymore. But there is still, hey, toughen up, mate. You've got to do this. Oh, my hands hurt. Well, they're going to hurt all week. Yes. Like, what do you want me to do? If you don't want it, go become a florist. So there will be that level of it for sure. Yeah. And I think the banter is cultural more than anything. Same way you'd have banter at a footy club about something. Do you know what I mean? Like there's that's a cultural thing and that would just change over time, I dare say.
Yeah, but it's definitely got a negative light. Like you can't do, people are, I guess held some more accountability if you pick on an apprentice.
Yeah,
now,
for sure.
For example.
For sure.
Do you think that's
No, I think that's good. I don't think it's a bad thing. Like you shouldn't, regardless of your age, you can joke around. It's like, is it a joke if the other person if the person victim doesn't find it funny? So then, like, that's how you got to look at it. If they're genuinely upset, if this is genuinely affecting them and they know they're going to go to work tomorrow and everyone's going to pick on their orange hair, do you know what I mean? And that's what the butt of the joke is going to be all day, that he has orange hair, something he can't change. Right, then that would be detrimental. Like I would, as a business owner, if I found out my team were giving shit to my apprentice because he had orange hair, and that was happening week on week on week, I'd be having firm words with the whole team. I'd be pulling him up on that. Hey, this isn't he's an apprentice, let's give him shit joke. This is harassment. This is not on. And if you don't like it, you are new, you're fired. Right, I can fire all of you now for what you've just done here. I expect you all to write him an apology. Or go and see him and personally apologize. Otherwise, it is your job. So I would stick up in that instance for the apprentice, yes.
Yeah, I understand. But and I believe that's what most people are doing.
I think that's a good thing. I don't think that's bad at all.
Let me finish. So
sorry.
The other side of this, though, is like, because people are being, like, obviously in everything that happens, there's always like the people who do too much. You know what I mean? There's people who take things overboard.
Yeah, take it too far.
Yeah. And this would be the same thing. There would be the person who...
So then you'd have to pull that up.
Yeah, there would be the person who meant it as a joke, and then there would be the person who kind of takes it too far. And you're like, hey, man, like you're probably pushing this beyond its limits. And then therefore that person gets reprimanded, and then everyone else kind of pulls back and pulls back and pulls back. And I think... Do you think, though, the constant pulling back, do you think that will have the opposite effect of eventually people will become too soft and then we'll face the other side? And they've got that whole saying, like, I'm sure you've heard this, good, strong men make easy times makes weak men make hard times make strong men.
Yeah, yeah.
And blah, blah,
the
blah.
cycle goes
Yeah, and the cycle goes around. And it's like, okay, like if that's the case, and then we're making
weak men.
weak people in general.
Weak people, yeah.
Yeah. And then the loop kind of feeds back around. And this is probably going to upset some people who maybe have had traumatic experiences. I'll be honest, like I was an apprentice. I went through it. Did they play jokes on me? Yeah, they did. They would take my...
Give you a left-handed screwdriver. Get the left-handed screwdriver.
I was never that stupid. Like, I was like, you know what I mean? Like I always knew. But I saw like other apprentices go and ask for like a long wait.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They'd go to spare parts and they'd be like, hey, go to spare parts and get me a long wait. And the guys in spare parts are in on it.
Yeah.
And they'd go to spare parts and they'd be like, can I get a long wait? And then
yeah, absolutely.
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
And then they'd just, and then the apprentices just fucking, you know, just waiting. It's like no idea. But I've also had like, you know, I just took it as, and this was just maybe my perception. And then, yeah, my perception of this was like they would take my hat. I would always wear a hat. And they would take my hat. And I didn't feel like I was being picked on. I felt like I was fitting in with the team.
Yeah,
and I was like, I was the first year apprentice. I was the kid
Yeah.
among all the 22-year-olds. And I was like 18. You know, and they'll take my hat and they'd throw it up on the
Hoist or
exit
whatever.
sign.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
And I couldn't get it, dude. You know what I mean? And I'd have to go and negotiate with a tall guy to use the broom to... Yeah. It's like, hey, come on. Hell, like, you know what I mean? And then they'd get it for me and I'm like, all right. And then I would also, though, I would get them back.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I wouldn't just lay there and sit there, oh man, like, you know, and I feel like that shaped me as a person in a great way.
Yeah.
Like I built a level of resilience and it built a level of, okay, like I
stand
need
up
to.
for myself too.
Yeah, but it never got to the point where I was like, oh man, like I'm being bullied here.
Yeah, but that's a thing though, because it can
But
get to that.
Is it because I didn't feel that way? Or is it because I chose to?
Yes, because you could have interpreted it in a different way. You could have been like, they're picking on me because I'm Lebanese. Right? And then you could have...
Obviously, that's what it was.
Well, I mean, I'd be upset if they weren't doing it for those reasons. But do you know what I mean? Maybe you could have interpreted it that way, even though they may not have meant it that way. Okay, so... Or maybe they did mean it that way. Maybe let's go get the Lebo kid. So I think it can swing either way. It can swing either way. I've got no issues with a joke. It's just when it becomes, all right, are you going to do this for 6 years? Like, are you going to do this for the next 4 years of your apprenticeship? Your hat goes up there. Because then you're just going to stop wearing hats. That's what I would have done. I would have probably stopped wearing a hat. Regardless. I think I don't have an issue with jokes happening, with a little banter, with stuff like that. It's just when it does go too far.
Yeah, I agree.
Going back to what you're saying, I think the industry still, it requires a level of grit, regardless. So I don't think you can be. I think you getting in construction being good, I think you're going to have a level of toughness.
Yeah, but George, there's this other side to it of I can't remember who the lady is, but she wrote a book, and I can't remember what the book was called, and I can't quote anything about it, so there's no point in me saying this. But there was a book written about how focusing on your problem is the problem.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's like, and I'm not saying you shouldn't speak. That's not what I'm saying at all. But me personally, like, I've never had an issue talking.
Mm-hmm.
I know lots of people do. And, you know, if you feel some way, you should probably talk to someone. Me personally, I've never, like, I'll talk. What are you going to do? Judge me?
Mm.
Yeah, cool. Well, I feel better. Like, who cares? I've seen therapists, psychologists. I've never had an issue speaking about something that I feel is not right. And maybe that's why I feel that way. And that's why I feel like, but
I think a lot of people would though.
Yeah, I know a lot of people don't feel the way I feel about it. I know that. Like I'm very well, for a long time I didn't, but I'm very well aware today that that's the case. But, you know, are we giving people, it's the fine line between like, okay, at what point are you giving people an out with this, and are we going too far soft? And at what point are you like, hey, you've been a prick, and, you know, people like, you know, suicide rates are up or anything like that. And it's like, how do you draw the line between those two?
Mm.
Because you hear stories all the time, and, you know, if you're like, mental health is real. It's a real thing.
Absolutely.
And, you know, if you are suffering internally, like that's not a nice place to be. And if you are, you should probably go talk to someone. That's the truth.
Mm.
But are we making the problem worse? You know, are we pointing people the light at the wrong thing and making people suffer more by bringing awareness to it? Or are we actually helping people by giving people something to speak about and saying, you know, don't suffer silently? You know, so are people better off now, or were they just suffering silently previously?
I think they're suffering silently.
You reckon?
I think so.
And they just...
Yep. And then as a result of that, they either like sink or swim, but I think they became tougher as a result of it. But I think they were still suffering in the moment.
Well, then is it a bad thing?
I don't know. I know what you're saying. Yeah. Pressure makes diamonds.
Yeah, like if the result of it came positive.
Look, I had a boss when I was at Multiplex who was very much of the management style where he would, like, the way he would communicate is like, you know, what the fuck are you doing? If you're not going to do this, I'll just get someone else, mate. You just don't come into work on Monday. Like, he was real abrupt, real direct. He was borderline abusive verbally, and he would just tell you how it was. Now, I still feel to this day that he toughened me up.
Yeah. So, okay.
All right.
So, George, someone has had that exact same experience and is traumatized from it.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. They say, like, when someone yells at him now, they take 3 days off work.
If you ask me, had he had a different approach to me and managed me in a different way, would I still be better off? I still feel that I would. If he took me under his wing and showed me a different way, say, listen, you need to be tougher here, and I'm going to show you how, because I'm not like that to my employees, and they're guns. So I don't think that management style is actually the best way to do it, or that approach.
No, and I'm not saying it is.
No, but in the sense of, like, this person was what you're saying, like that, you know, if you heard him speak to me, you would think he was picking on me. This is a real senior guy.
Yeah, but I've never once said authoritarian. You've always gone back there.
I know, but I'm just saying, it's just the word I'm using. But this guy, I would say, he picked on me. I was the youngest person at the company at the time at Multiplex.
Yeah, was he picking on you as a joke?
No. He was genuinely angry, like white line fever type guy.
That's not the same.
Yeah, okay. But it was still in a way that was like, I could have gone home and cried myself to sleep each night. And there was times where I was like I'd see his name come on my phone and I'm like, oh God, what's he want? He's going to yell at me again. All right. So there is still that element of me having to battle through that mental space and go, okay, well, it made me tougher working for him. But in the same token, if he had a completely different way of handling me at the time, I still think I would have been a really good builder. Even though I still say today he shaped me who I am.
Yeah, but then you could argue, okay, should the Army and the Navy SEALs, I don't know anything about it, I've never been to the Army.
Yeah, I mean,
should they be softer then?
Yeah, that's a good point. Why go through that strenuous exercise?
The argument, yeah.
And I think that has great merit. But these are people that have been trained to kill other human beings. So maybe it does have to be as extreme as that to get them in that frame of mind to take another person's life. I don't know. That's a
really good point.
It's a very good point. Like, I don't know. But I still see there's merit in that difficultness, in that I'm going to train you this hard to make you tough. You need to be tough, because when you're in Afghanistan and you're running for your life and you're dodging bullets, they're not going to turn around and say, oh, come on, let's just have a mental health day today. We'll just give you a break.
Have you seen, I might get some hate for this, but I'm going to say it anyway. Have you seen Michael?
Oh, the movie? No.
You haven't seen it?
I haven't seen it yet. It's on Prime. I've got to watch it. I'm sorry.
Is it out on Prime now?
It is, yeah. You can buy it.
Okay. So, spoiler alert. Nah, it's not a spoiler.
Does he die?
He doesn't. No, he's. Yeah, that's fucked. That's so
bad. It's so bad.
So his dad's like super abusive.
Yeah,
supposedly.
I do recall the story.
Yeah. But I left that movie, and I feel like, and this is going to be a very unpopular opinion, and I'm willing to cop the backlash on this, but I feel like his dad was painted in the worst light possible for producing the biggest pop star we've ever seen.
Very true.
In the world. And everyone is like hating on his dad. And I just want to make something clear to everyone. Like, you all get, if his dad, I'm not saying his dad was right, but if his dad wasn't who he was, we would not have Michael Jackson. Yeah. And it's like, I get it. I'm not condoning his behavior. I'm not saying he should have beat him more. I'm not saying he should have beat him less. I'm not saying anything like that. I'm simply saying if the behavior was different, the outcome would have been different. Do you know what I mean? And yes, the way he treated him was wrong, and you should not abuse someone like that and so forth.
Especially a child.
Yeah. But Because he
But
said
yeah.
he says I grew up with no childhood. Like I had to work every weekend, and it's like, dude, he fucking drilled a work ethic into you like a crazy person
Yeah,
almost.
like there was nothing else he could do than succeed.
Yeah,
know,
and
he had to.
you became the world's till this day. I don't know if there is a bigger star on the planet.
I agree with that. I
Do you
think
know what I
there's
mean?
some stat that he's the only artist to ever have like a top 10 in each decade. Like even now when the movie came out, he had his album went to number one again, or a song or something went to number one again. Most downloaded song or whatever it was, beat it. I don't even know what it was. But he's the only one to have ever done that. His music will be timeless. Like
used to
our
have-
kids will be listening to Michael Jackson when they're older.
He used to have the most number ones for a male artist, but his record recently got beaten.
Beat
Beat it.
Good.
You're full of jokes.
Yeah. so good.
Yeah, and I just think that whole story is like there's another side to it. I'm not saying his dad's side. I'm not saying that. I'm saying like people aren't thinking about the trade-off.
Yeah.
They don't think about the outcome of the changed behavior.
Yep.
You know what I mean? They're just thinking about, but
it can also
you
go.
shouldn't
It
have
can go
abused
both ways. Like there's that story of the twins. I don't know if this is true, or if it's just a story for the sake of being a story. But the twins, abusive father, alcoholic father, used to beat both kids. Okay, then one day the father dies, and the kids get put into foster homes, separate homes. Okay, so they go one end of the world and the other end of the one end of the country, the other end of the country in America. Then 30 years later, they get reunited. One of the kids turns out to be an alcoholic bum, abusive, just scum of the earth. And the other kid has a loving family, successful CEO, everything going for him, just the greatest world. And then they come together and they ask him, well, why do you think you turned out that way? And then both of them gave the same answer. So, well, with a father like mine, what did you expect me to become? So I think with Michael, it could, yes, you're right. Did that outcome happen because of how he was treated? But arguably the outcome could have gone the other way too. Maybe he ended up becoming an abusive father and no one knew his name. So it could have gone either way. I think it does come down to the individual a little bit too. Most of the highly successful people in this world, most of them, you go and study any billionaire in this world, most of them have come from adversity. You get a few that are like, oh, you know, my dad was had hundreds of millions and I don't know how I managed and I somehow became a billionaire. But then you get the people who are like, I was in the street with a needle in my arm and now I'm a billionaire, because they didn't let their story determine their future and they took control of everything that had happened and they used that to fuel them. And there's this saying I heard the other day, I can't remember where it was, but chips on shoulders put chips in pockets. And I love that. Oh, yeah, that's so true.
What is it?
Chips on shoulders put chips in pockets. So if you've got a chip on your shoulder, you put chips like casino chips, you know, puts money in your pocket. So it's, I think your story can drive you or it can own you.
It's up to you.
Yeah, very much so.
We're meaning making machines.
I love that too. Love that saying.
All right. That's all my questions, man.
That's it. That was cool. That was good. It was a good discussion. You know, you could probably roll off another 15 questions as well. Like it's some good topics, it's some good discussions, and it's things that, you know.
Yeah, but so
I don't know if there's right or wrong answers with anything, but it's just what your interpretation is. And with anything in life and in anything in business, you've just got to do the most at the best decision to make in the moment is the one that you make. That's it. Like, don't have the regret. It's whatever's that is the best decision you made at the time.
And most decisions are not permanent.
That's right. That's right.
You remember?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Can't forget.
That's probably the best thing I've ever heard you say.
Was it?
I've heard you say some good shit.
That said some
That
good
was-
shit.
That was the one that kind of like, oh,
Yeah,
that was gold.
that's it.
All right. On that note, I'm going to wrap it up there. When's this airing?
We have the Builder Summit in Melbourne tomorrow.
Okay.
I've already done the math. I've already done the math. And you know what? Full disclaimer, we haven't actually started the tour yet.
Oh,
So
you
I'm gonna ruin it for everyone. This is pre-recorded, and we haven't started the tour yet. But I've got no doubt that Sydney and Brisbane just went off, and it was epic and sensational. And we're about to do it in our hometown of Melbourne. So if you haven't bought a ticket and you're listening to this, and it's in the AM of the Monday that you are listening to this, there is still time. Go to our Instagram page, go to websites, go wherever you want. You will find
I
a
don't
link
reckon
somewhere.
it's gonna be time.
Come on.
No.
Come on, give them a crack. Just let them have a crack.
Try your luck.
All right. Then if there's
doubt.
nowhere for you to register, just rock up on the day.
Don't work up.
Rock up on the day, go see the team at the front door.
There'll be no seats.
And just say, hey, there will be no
There'll be
seats.
no
If you, unless you're there at 6:30, just knocking on the door, we're going to sell out, Melbourne. I'm putting it out there. We're going to sell out. I reckon it's going to be the first event that we're going to have to turn people away and say, sorry, we are overbooked. We are at capacity. Putting it out there. Robbie's done an exceptional job on the
gonna be
marketing
great.
chat.
Isn't that going to be great when you're like, hey guys, sorry.
Good problem.
Yeah, guys, sorry, full.
Full house.
It's 11.
Yeah.
We started at 7:30.
I
I
bet
bet rocking up at 11.
Hey, even if you get to the point where it's like, it's what time did it? 7:30, and they go, it's 8 a.m. So you should have been here. It's registration was 7:30. Well, it's 8:30.
Oh, it's 7:30.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, people were here at 4.
Should have got here. There we
You
are.
snooze, you lose.
That's it. All right. Thanks a lot, guys. Lovely to have you a part of the show once again. And we cannot wait to be here same time next week.
We'll see you there.
Peace out.
Thanks, everyone.